Gemini, it's Lynn from Tinker Tarot. I'm here to do your February 2019 reading. I've got my new cards, the Druid Craft Tarot that I love. And of course I'm going to complement them with the playing cards. And wanted to say happy Valentine's to those who celebrate. And happy birthday Aquarius and Pisces for those cross watchers. And, oh yeah, for Valentine's Day I'm going to do a live thing. Like, live. I don't know. I've never done it before, so who knows how it's going to turn out. It could be pretty funny. So, if you want to chuckle, you might want to tune in. So, Gemini. What are the messages for Gemini? February 2019. Gemini. February 2019. Woo! I think they're ready, actually. They're getting a little... kind of whispering across. Okay, well, if that's going to be an example of how this is going to go, you might need an interpreter. Carmela, I'm doing a reading. Don't hunt. Harmony. So let's turn these over. Hey, look, I got the dogs barking. Or you did, I should say. Let's see. Here. Got some pretty serious business going on here, Gemini. Carmela. We have some pretty serious business going on here. So I'm going to do a past, present, future. And the past is could be happening right now, anytime before February, okay? So your first card is the Ace of Pentacles. Can you see that? Jeez, I'm always having terrible light problems, but anyhow, it's this gigantic, beautiful pentacle in a sky that represents all the chakras here. And it's over top of this, it reminds me of like a water pit, a quarry. And it's like this honey hole. There's a bear there protecting it. And it's funny I said honey hole, but I was thinking of the salmon, that are there. And that bear's protecting his food source, his honey hole. This Ace of Pentacles is like you finding something like that. You've come up with something, It's a gift. It's some sort of financial gift. Some sort of, it doesn't have to necessarily mean money either, necessarily. Something of value is coming your way. Okay, that's what it is. Something of value. And it's funny because all these cards in the top have water in them. So this is suggesting, too, that you're emotionally affected by whatever this is. Your next card is the Five of Cups. Now, in this card, there's a sense of loss, He's looking into the water. He's hooded. He's cloaked. He's covered up. He doesn't want anyone to see his sadness. And he's just at the water's edge thinking deeply about his loss, his cups spilled. He has these spilled cups, but he's not even noticing behind him. There's still two full cups. There's still something to work on here, a foundation, okay? And so, what can be done can be undone, in a sense. You can fill these cups again. You know, you may have to do some work to prove yourself. You may, to fill these cups again, you know, that there may be a trust issue, and you may have to, you know, it takes time. It's not an instant thing. You can't just do something one day and someone instantly trusts you again. It takes time to fill those cups again, whatever the issue is. Could be about money, you know, or something of value. You lost something of value. Anyway, then you have the moon. And the moon, you know, it shows these two wolves howling, and the two trees, and everything stands as a pillar on its way to the moon. And it's funny, we just had that lunar eclipse, that super blood moon, you know, and so you know, you can look at this two ways too. Are you coming out of the water and ascending to the top, or are you coming from the top and emerging into the water? You know, it's kind of like the Two of Wands that way. You don't know which way you're facing, whether you're up, you're down. You're up, you're down. You know, there's a lot of confusion. I don't think things are exactly clear right now. Even the water is moving. You know, you can't see to the bottom when the water is not still. And so maybe trying to clear your thoughts. But this is a lot of deep thinking here. You know, there's water, there's clouds, and it's about this idea, this opportunity, this thing of value that has just come into your life, or you're realizing perhaps the value, you know. Anyway, the first card in your present is the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles is about putting your money away, you know, saving it for something, your plans, what you want to invest in. You haven't really invested yet. You're working hard to save your money. Also, it's a card of greed, like hiding money away, not sharing. You know, when it could be a time of need for someone, you're not sharing. So this has a double meaning as well, but it's trying to build for your future, for your stability, your security. You know, this box is sound. The safe is sound, you know. And so you're planning for a rainy day here. And then you have the High Priest, and he is the Hierophant in other decks. Now, you know, you could be seeking wise counsel from your priest, your counselor, your best friend, your mother, father. Sometimes he represents marriage, higher learning. I think it's either you're seeking counsel, you're seeking advice about what to do, you know. Objective. I think you want objective advice, someone objective to talk to. And the other thing, too, is that, and that's what he is. See, one mountain is small and one mountain is big. He can see both sides, you know. He sees the truth, and he sees with his mind and his heart. His emotions are blended in his advice, and he's grounded. But anyway, sometimes this represents marriage, institutions, the institution of marriage, Also institutions themselves, you know, because that's where our teachers, our leaders, our guides are in a lot of institutions. So, you know, and this could be about the inner guide, right? Then you have the Three of Swords, the card of heartbreak, you know. Could be backstabbing too. There's 3 separate punctures here. So it looks to me like the truth is coming out, like something, you know, something really hurts. I noticed there's 3 punctures and there's 3 cups spilled over. So it's not just one thing. You know, there's something that really hurts here. And you're looking for new direction. You know, I can see that you're looking for new direction. And the first card in your future, the present, I should say, is the first couple of weeks of February. And your future is the last couple of weeks of February and thereafter. So your first card in your future is the Hermit. And the Hermit emerges from the cave, wiser, stronger, smarter, and he can see his path now. He knows what he needs to do. And he has his dog with him, or the wolf, you know, and that's a sign of loyalty, honesty, but he is also cloaked here, you know, back in the 5. He's not necessarily ready to reveal his plans, his intentions. He knows where he's going. You know where you're going, Gemini. You know what you need to do, but you're not necessarily revealing it, you know. You know, and here's these 2 guys looking out over the water. Here, there's, sadness, remorse, you know, regret. And here, it's completely different. Like, he's ready to set out and on his new path, where he's going now. He doesn't feel that remorse anymore. He's very clear, you know. Probably went and did a lot of deep thinking. Like I said, you know, the inner guide. You had to go within, because, you know, I read somewhere that nothing people do are because of you. It's because of themselves, their own feelings, their own perception. And you can only control what you do, you know, how you feel about something. And I think that might be, you know, kind of where this lies too. There could have been some sort of deception too, over something of value to you, you know. Anyway, the next card in your future is the Four of Swords. So this makes sense, you know, that you come out of the cave, you know what you need to do, and, you know, this is just sort of taking a break, thinking about your next move, okay? Here's my map, here's, you know, what my intentions are. So what's the first step, you know, what's my most likely next move? How do I do that? Who do I want to speak to? How do I want to go about it? But anyway, you're contemplating your next move, your plan of how you're going to get from A to Z, basically, okay? And it's all meant to be, because here you are at the 10 of Cups. It's all meant to be. You had to go through some of this hardship to find what's going to emotionally fulfill you. You know, you. This is the thing, eh? We spend a lot of our time trying to make other people happy. And then being disappointed in them when they're not. It's like, well, I've done all this, you know. And it's part of our expectation, you know, well, surely this will make them feel better, or, you know, this will help. And sometimes it doesn't, you know. We can try, but it doesn't mean it will change things. And I think that when you go in the cave, is when you kind of realize that, you know, I can only do what makes me happy, what fulfills me. And if someone thinks that that's what they want too, well, I imagine they'll join me. If I see someone doing something that fulfills them and I'm thinking, geez, I want some of that, you know, you're going to say, hey, I'm going to go and hang out with them more often because I like being around that. So I think you're going to think, okay, what's in my picture of fulfillment? You know, what do I imagine? What are those 10 cups to me? You know, and that's where I'm going. I think that you're looking for family. You know, you want to be around family. If maybe you live far away from family or something, you want to be closer to them. Maybe you want your family back. You know, maybe there's been a split or something like that, and you've realized that that's more important than, you know, like you're realizing, you know, it's funny because your very first card is something you hold of value. It's something that is valuable to you. And your last card is the 10 of Cups, another card that you hold of value to you. And I think that it has a lot to do with your family, whether it's your wife or husband and your children, or your family, brothers and sisters, or your parents, whatever that is. You realize that that's what you want. You need that to fulfill you in your life, you know. I see a certain amount of I also think that like back in this Four of Pentacles, someone could have been miserly, you know, whether that was with financially, you know, controlling the finances, not really being sharing or generous or when it needed it. And this is affecting the dynamics. I'm going to tell you that right now. And something's going within and deciding it. For some of you, it's a way deeper subject. You know, you might be realizing that money does not buy you love. It doesn't. It can buy a lot of things, but it can't buy love, and it can't buy happiness, believe it or not. I did very well. I had a big house, and I mean big, and nice cars and everything going for me and my life at that time. And I was so unhappy. You know, more money you have bigger bills, bigger payments, you know, you have a bigger house. Now you have 3 cars instead of 1 car, and you're living, again, even rich people live beyond their means. So you got all these headaches and all these stresses of all these bills, and then you got people looking at you like, wow, doesn't she have it all? Like, no, I don't. But it didn't buy me love. You know, it didn't buy me what I truly desired. So I'm much happier living a more basic life. You know, sure, I could use a little extra money and be able to pay all my bills. Yes, that would be nice, but having too much, or having it and being greedy, not sharing it. You know, and part of the reason we make lots of money is so that we can share it. We can not provide, but help those around us when they need it, you know. Anyway, I think you're changing your perspective on that. It's a deeper thing. You're realizing it's not as important to you anymore. Love, family, relationships are more important to you. And you've given this a lot of thought. A lot of thought. Okay? Whew. I think it's a big thing about realizing the importance of money and the definition of value in your life. For you, Gemini, this is really about that. This is really about that. Okay, what do we got here? All right. So we have the 8 of Hearts, the 3 of Clubs, the 7 of Spades, the 2 of Diamonds, the 10 of Spades, the Queen of Clubs, and the Queen of Diamonds. So, this to me looks like there was tears, you know. It looks like possibly a relationship that there was a lot of hard work put into it and a lot of perseverance. You know, you survived through a lot together, and there could be a potential ending coming because this is tears over, you know, there was a lot of potential in this relationship, but it looks like there could be a meeting about ending it, because it's not the way it was anymore. You know, it's not the way it was. You know, it doesn't have that spark. And there's some sort of financial meeting. It could be you have to still work out the division of the money. And maybe that's what this greediness is about. Someone saying, well, they could be hiding money. You or your partner could be hiding money, not wanting to share it. I don't want no one knowing about my honey hole. I got this secret, you know, stash or something of value, hiding things of value, perhaps. These things always come out in the end, though. You know, people go through a lot of trouble to hide stuff, and it usually comes out in the end. Yeah, I think there's the division of money here in a possible breakup. And then there's the Queen of Clubs and the Queen of Diamonds. The Queen of Clubs is a brown or hazel-eyed woman, usually dark features like brown hair. Could have like an auburn hair, like a very dark brownish red. She is, she's outspoken, she's creative, she's energetic, she's idealistic too. And then this Queen of Diamonds is usually an older woman, a more mature woman. She's very good with money, obviously, the Queen of Diamonds. She usually has good advice too, you know. Could be your lawyer. You know what? You could have a female lawyer, someone or people on your side. These two women on your side. Will you shush? Oh, she's laying in the bed. I made her. Shh, don't say anything. She'll get out. I made her that bed. I took an old chair and I recovered it, and I'm not quite finished yet. But here, I'll like reach down the camera. Look at it. Isn't it adorable? And she's laying in it. I wasn't sure if she was going to. I'm sorry. Okay, back to you, Gemini. That is so cool, huh? That happened during your reading. She wasn't lying it before, but trying to get her to. Alright, what are the messages for Gemini, February 2019? Gemini. 2019, Gemini. What's going on here, Gemini? There's... What is going on? Seems to be some sort of deceit, betrayal. Okay. Eek. Well, definitely an ending. I'm going to tell you that. There's no stability now. You know, okay, let's show you what you got. You got the Jack of Clubs, the Four of Spades, the Ace of Spades, that's the ending, the Four of Clubs, the Seven of Clubs, the King of Diamonds, and the Eight of Diamonds. Now, here is a couple, right? This King and Queen of Diamonds. So this could be the couple that are splitting, right? And it would make sense because, you know, part of the problem here is the money, the value of this relationship. So here, you know, if you asked me, is this has come to an end. You're torn apart. And you could be torn apart over a youngster. There's maybe a youngster involved. Geez, I'm not sure how old. I'm getting the feeling that this person has a hard time surviving on their own, so maybe they're really young, like under 18, or they've got some sort of challenges. They've got challenges, perhaps health challenges, perhaps mental challenges. So they need help with their stability. You know, they're not stable on their own. All right. And then there's some sort of worry about this King of Diamonds. Now, the King of Diamonds is the mate to this Queen here. You know, this could be the couple. This could be the one woman coming in between you two. Could be. I'm just saying maybe, you know. But there's a worry that, because you're going to have money talks. There's money talks here. And you could be worried, or your partner could be worried. whoever that is, you're the male and they're the female, or you're the female, vice versa, that this youngster is not going to be, like someone's, who's going to look after this youngster? Or it seems to me, it looks to me like someone's disabled in some sort. You know, they can't provide for themselves. So there's some sort of worry there about that in that way. I don't know. I'm going to take one more couple of cards. Just. So what's the future for this couple? What's the future? There's other things going on here. There's a big change, you know, transformation. When you get the Hermit, you and the High Priest, the Hierophant, there's a huge change. And the Hierophant is the center of your reading, the focus of it all, the inner guide in you. That, you know, that tells you what's right and what's wrong. You know, you and also you evolve. It's the Hierophant is the very meaning of evolution. It's the half beast, half man. It's usually represented, and that's the beast animal evolving into man. You know, and you grow up when you meet with the Hierophant. You grow up every time, right? Because you learn something, and there's something you got to face too. You know, we all have to. We all do. Oh, excuse me, my nose is itchy. There's an old wives' tale when you get itchy nose. I don't know what it is. But I just had a terribly itchy nose. So you got the 9 of clubs here. So the job, this is the place. This is at work. So there's something around work here. Maybe there's something about the company. If you guys have a company together, the foundation of the company, maybe you're worried about it being split apart. You know, companies falling apart, perhaps. Because, you know, both are 4s, right? They're about the foundation. And the foundation is not good at all, and the other one, it's quite good. Okay, might take that one too. Let's see. Weesh. So, okay, I might take that one too. All right. Okay, these last ones, Gemini, are the 9 of clubs, the Ace of clubs, the 9 of spades, and the 2 of spades. I think this could be, you're going to be, there's something at work that's affecting your health. You know, remember I said back here about someone's health, or they're disabled, or they can't provide for themselves or something, because there's something around the job site that is not good for your health. And you may have to have a meeting or something about being compensated for that. Some sort of compensation. You may have to see a lawyer about compensation. You know, and maybe that's what some of this is about, like this loss. Maybe this something of value is your honey hole, is your livelihood. And there's loss, and you're like, well, what am I going to do now? I don't know. So holding tightly to your money because you don't know what the future is going to bring. But I think it's you could be fighting for some sort of compensation for your injuries. You could have been injured at work. Anyway, And it just says working towards there's a few meetings involved here too. You know, I think something could have happened at work here. You know, now I'm looking at these more and more. Something could have happened at work here as well. So, if this is a couples reading, it's about dividing your assets, basically. And, you know, someone could be hiding assets or something like that, and it's so working through that. The other scenario is that there could have been an accident or something happened at work that you can't do that job anymore. You can't work there, and you need to be compensated. You need to be, you know, it happened there. The cause is the place. The place made you sick, or you got hurt there, or something like that. And so you may be getting a lawyer. You could have a lady boss, too, is the other thing. A lady boss of where you're fighting this case, okay? Anyway, I hope this has meaning for you, Gemini. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, you get notifications of more videos just like this one. So, anyway, do stay tuned around the 14th. I'm going to post a notice saying when I'm going to do the live love readings. So, have a really good month. And if you're interested in a personal reading, all the information is in the box below. Thank you. Bye.